Hey, everyone. Sharon J. Lawrence here, and I am back with 31 days of healthy relationship tips. I am super excited because tonight we get to continue the discussion about healthy relationships with friends. And I am joined by the amazing, my wonderful sister friend, who I tell all the time, she rocking this red lipstick. I can't do this, but she's an amazing nurse practitioner who rocks red lipstick. So, nurse practitioner Rasheda Persinger-Adams, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
How are you doing this evening?
I am tired, but I am grateful it is Friday, okay?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Made it through the week, yes.
There you go. That's what it's about. We get to Friday and then we still feel like we got work to do leading up to Monday. So one day at a time. One day at a time.
Exactly.
All right, we have some people
Yeah.
joining us already. Dr. Rael Sims, the neuroscientist, the relationship scientist himself, all the way from California. Hey, sir. Hey, brother. And so if you are joining us, please let us know where you are located. And remember to share. We are begging you to share. Yes, I said beg. We are begging you to share because this is free information, free 99, as we've been saying. This is information that is going to help people pretty much catapult themselves into a healthier 2020. And we're not talking about life. We're not talking about resolutions. We're talking about lifestyle changes. We're talking about simple tips and techniques that help people to shift their thinking so that they can behave differently. And so this is about what it is, sharing free information, things that are helpful to our communities, for ourselves, to the world. So please share. All right. So let's get right into it, Rasheda, because we know for your topic, it's about quality versus quantity. And we're looking at it from the perspective of friendships on a personal level, but also from a professional level in terms of how you work with the people that you're serving. Mm-hmm. And so can you talk a little bit about what this quality versus quantity means for you?
Yes, if you don't mind, my name is Rasheda.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
Y'all act like we rewinded. Rasheda, tell the people who you are, what you do, and where you are located.
Absolutely. My name is Rasheda Persinger-Adams. I'm a medical oncology nurse practitioner. Full-time, I currently work at Sibley John Hopkins Cancer Center, where I am responsible for oncology care. And I have recently started my own company called RPA LLC, which will offer concierge oncology services in individual homes. So again, thank you, Sharon, for having me on here. This is amazing. And so I'll get right into the meat and potatoes of, what you've asked me to talk about. I think for me, I think for even a lot of us as we get older and we life experience and so forth, we start to realize the importance of more of quality friendship versus quantity. And that kind of evolves, right? Because, we realize that within that quality friendship are our core friends, right? Our core sister friends, if you would call it. We always say that generally have similar core values. We feel that we can be transparent in front of them, non-judgmental, and we have this feeling of, we understand and respect each other, that know that we're all busy, right? Right. We have our personal lives with marriages, children's, all those responsibilities, our professional lives, trying to make it and, do these entrepreneurship things. And it's amazing when you have those core friends and that you can pick up the phone, maybe not every day, but maybe monthly, and you just pick up just where you left off. That is, for me as a professional, as a sister friend, I can say for myself, my best friends that I've known since 7th grade, two of them. And we are, I won't even tell my age, but, I can pick up the phone at any moment, right? And we can pick up just where we left off. I know that they have my back, and, and I know that, my apologies, sorry. I know that they have my back, and I'm able to be transparent with them. So for me, and I think a lot of my sister friends and people that I just speak with, you know, as we get older, as relationships, as life brings, we realize the importance of quantity, not necessarily the quality, of quality, not necessarily the value of quantity.
Right, right. And so I like the part where you said, you know, it's like you can pick right back up where you left off. So it's like you never skip the beat, and no one is feeling like, where you been? And why haven't you been here? You know if you need the person, you know how to connect. But if time goes by, there is no love lost as a result of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I just think, I think, if you don't mind me sharing as well, I feel that, in that sister friends or male bonding, or however you want to say it, is that, it's so important. It doesn't mean that just because I say we may not talk on a daily basis, we still understand that there's value to feeding relationships, right? And friendship, and, knowing to check in every now and then, or if we are really amazing, we can pull off a little girls' weekend, and just let it all hang out. They see you when you're at your highs and at your lows, when you're crying, when you're screaming. Because I don't know about you, Sharon, or your viewers who are, checked in, in corporate, in professional arenas, we are having to be a certain way, act a certain way, have a certain image. And, and especially for women of color, we have to have we have it all together look, right?
It's about
and so
optics.
in doing that, and so it is, again, it just speaks volumes to meeting at a point in your life where you realize you want people that you can just be yourself with, and that shares that similar mindset that you have, and so I just find that, and in talking to other people, as relationships evolve, you realize that quality means more.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's funny because I can think of friendships where I found myself going, okay, that's just them. But on the flip side, I find them saying, we have this problem with you. We have this, like there was always a problem with how Sharon does something. And I was like, you can't change people. And I realized that for me on a personal level, that I didn't want people that had a problem with who I was. If I accept you, I want to be accepted. If I love you, I want to be loved. If I praise you, I want, if I'm doing something praiseworthy, I want to be praised. Not worship. I don't want anybody to be like, what you mean? No. I mean, in terms of celebration. And so when you talk about that quality component, I'm hearing you on a whole nother level, that it really is about acceptance as well, how you connect with the people that you are connected to. Like what's the strength of that, talk about that. How do you strengthen that tie?
I think that's a great question. I think just how I, alluded to earlier, that, you have to nurture it, right? I think you hit on it when you say that, if all your friends are doing is pointing out when you're negative or wrong, or what you could have did better and so forth like that, you might want to do a check, right? You might want to check, wait a minute, as you were saying, like, why is it there nothing that I'm doing great, right? Or nothing that I'm doing, good enough, and so how do I nurture that? I remember certain important things, the wonderful thing about social media, or just the access that we have now, we have, WhatsApp app and, chat rooms where, you can text, and you may not have to have the time to call, but you can check in. And if people, list certain things that are coming up in their life, sending them a reminder or calling them, saying, you know what, I know this is your day back to work. just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing, or sending them a random text. It's nurturing. It's the same thing. Like the same thing that you would want somebody to be a friend to you is what you should reciprocate, you know? And if one person is always giving in a friendship, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Someone is going to feel neglected. So just like how we have to nurture our marriages, and I believe your other guests have talked about it earlier, it's the same thing that we have to bring over into our friendship, right? We have to nurture. We can't take people for granted, and we have to say that there are certain things that I'm just going to follow up to see how they were doing. Oh, I was in the store. I got this little notebook. I thought of you. I'm just going to drop it in the mail because I know there's something that you like. Nurturing those friendships. Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you said that, this is really good because I remember what Lexi said, Alexis Jones said on, I think that was Monday night, I believe. She even said that she will put things in her phone as reminders because she knows that she will not remember. And it's funny because I'll be driving somewhere and she'll go, have a good day at so-and-so. And I'm like, I told her I was going to do, like, I may even, forget that I told her that. And so, but for her, she's like, in order to remain connected, she puts it on a calendar so she doesn't forget. And then she's also praying for people. And I was like, I gotta do a better job at that. And so recently I had a friend and I actually put something on the calendar and I was like, I was able to check in. And so I was like, that's a very good idea.
I do stickies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm a sticky queen, everywhere. Okay?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I see them behind you.
Right, I know, right? I was trying to get them out of the picture, but I just couldn't. I would have been here all night trying to take off the stickies. Okay?
Don't do that.
That's important, you know?
That's proof. That's proof that she practices what she preaches. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
This is awesome. I'm actually on Instagram right now letting people know that they need to come on over to the Facebook page because we are, we are having an amazing discussion and I need them to know about it. And so I'm like, let's do this. Okay, share. Let me go back over here. All right, guys. So if you have questions, we have Lisa Brooks watching. Dr. Rael Sims has tuned in. And he says, yes, I'm Los Angeles. And so these are great people to know. And Lisa Brooks, she's actually a Bowie State student who is studying to be a counselor. And so these are people who are doing great and amazing things. All right, so Rasheda, let's go ahead and continue our discussion. We're about halfway there.
Okay.
And so we know that a lot of people are probably going to catch some of this stuff on the replay, but as they're coming in, let them, they'll figure out what we're talking about. Quantity versus quality. So you shared the personal perspective.
Yes.
Are you ready to shift over to that professional side, or do you feel like there's more that people need to understand, or are there tips that you want to tag on now? Do you want to save those for the end?
I'll save those for the end because what I feel that what I have mastered in my personal friendships in terms of quantity versus quality and, steps that I look for, that I feel like those are the friendships that are a lifetime versus those who are just seasonal friends and so forth. I think that was the basis that helps me to assess my patients because as anyone can imagine, working in oncology is a very stressful, tense period in anyone's life, and so being able to assess patients where they are, their friendships, they can come in very distraught with diagnosis and so forth like that. I always get the questions from either the patient or a caregiver or a friend that came with them, what do I do? And I think for me, what I tell some of my patients is that you have to remember as you go through this journey as a patient, there are going to people that are going to step up to the plate. And there may be people that you see in a different light. Not that they will not remain your friend, but there are certain things that some people are just not equipped to. So what I remember one of my good patients or one of my, saw, I would tell her, I was like, we all have those girlfriends that we have certain things that they do well.
Right.
Some just don't, they can't hold water. Some that can be your someone who can all come up with a experience for you to have, right? You know, not non-cancer related. So I told her, I said, you know, because she wanted to make sure that she was still nurturing or still being able to involve her friends because she had some good core friends. I said, you know, just make a list, you know, just tell them what their responsibilities are or what you would like for them to do based on what they do. That goes back to that transparent, right? You're able to have that relationship with your friends, you know, like, you know, do this, you know, and then another friend that you may identify as the person who to update everyone else about your illness or something like that. You know, again, transparency, core values, right? You know, we have that in common there, and we're able to be non-judgmental. You know, you have those friends that, you know, you don't have to say something to them every minute.
Right. And so you said transparency, core values.
And then I think the non-judgmental kind of goes on there as well, and boundaries, you know, boundaries that I use in my personal friendship. And I actually try to help my patients understand that as well. You know, that you may need to set boundaries. You know, everybody doesn't know what you want unless you tell them, right?
That's right.
You know, people may want to help you, and you know, and you may get mad at so and so because she didn't do this, but you know, they can't read minds. No one can read minds. No one can, you know, see how you're feeling. You know, you still have to be able to verbalize, you know, some of those things. And on the friend side, who has a friend who's going through cancer treatment, is that, you know, being sensitive, listen, right? Not always coming up with advice, you know, not always telling the stories of where, you know, my auntie and my uncle, they did the same treatment and they had a hard time or they were fine. It's individualized, you know what I'm saying? And so again, that friendship of being honest with each other, being respectful with each other, those are core values, right? Setting boundaries, you know, as a patient saying, you know, during this time, I don't need to have any phone calls, or, you know, that's okay. Identifying and talking to your friends of what you feel that they could help in certain areas better than other, you know, and realizing ultimately as friends who, you know, as you see another friend that's going through cancer treatment, is that your help may be just asking to see what you can help the family member with or the caregiver with, right? It may not be directly helping your friend, but indirectly you are, because you're allowing that caregiver, that family member, to have a little bit more time. So again, I go back to those same qualities that I look for in my personal relationship. I don't force this on my patients, but I just allow them to understand that it's okay. You know, pull back from those core points that you did as a friend that did not have a diagnosis, right? You looked at core values, you looked at transparency, you set boundaries. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody and their mama don't need to come with you to the treatment. That's okay. But maybe you are one that you like everyone to come. It's okay. You know, but being just true to what your friendship or what friendship means to you as you go through the process.
I think that that's super, super awesome, especially the component of the caregiver support, because I actually spoke on that one time, and there's research that shows that, you know, just like a person is going through the grief of going from healthy to non-healthy in that moment, you know, they've lost something that they're used to, that caregiver goes through a loss as well, on top of now taking on added responsibilities, and it becomes a major strain for them. And a lot of times people don't consider the caregiver who needs the support. They feel like, oh, you're doing a good job, you know, let us know if you need anything. Not, okay, this is what we're going to do to support you, or what time are you getting home? We're going to just show up and do some things for you around the house so that you can take a break. So thank you for highlighting that, because I think people forget that caregivers do need added support as well, and they need breaks, and they need people to check on them and be there.
And then you are still helping your friend, right? Because caregivers, great points that you made as well. You know, you can't help someone else if you're not taking care of yourself, including the caregiver, right? So, you know, just as a friend, remember, it's not your time to shine, like where you get all the kudos. It's how you can help that friend that may be going through a very difficult time in life, you know?
Right. Exactly. All right, y'all, this is good information. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have some folks who have joined in. Let us know who you are and where you are tuning in from, because we want to be able to give you a shout out. Let us know your city and state. We have had people from all over. So please give us some hearts, some thumbs up, something. If you're on the go and you're driving, please do not let us know anything. We're just glad that you're there, that you're with us tonight. But if you're able to type in the comments, please let us know. Hey, Dr. Kiba. Dr. Kiba will be on the 28th. I'm talking about healthy relationships with self. And she has a practice in New York City. And so I'm super excited to have her on. And Dr. Rael says, great information. See, y'all don't realize I got all these doctors on here. We doing something. This is good. Doctors, nurse practitioners,
that is.
licensed clinicians. This is good stuff. Like I said, it's free 99. So this is the opportunity, because we don't always get to share this information with people at this level. Sometimes it's very formal and it's time limited, depending on what people are coming to us to focus on. And so things like this, you get to hone in on one particular area and share something that you're truly either passionate about or you're concerned about. And so I'm grateful for you, Rasheda, for being on with me, and for every clinician and licensed professional who has come on, and the individuals who have other professions but know that they have life experience in this, and you know, they feel like they have something to share. So I'm grateful to you all. We have and forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong, Rasheda, you may know Rasheda Persinger-Adams.
Oh, Misha. Yes.
Misha. Okay. Misha is on. She says, hey, y'all. Supporting my sister-in-law and the show. Thank you so much for tuning in.
That's my sister-in-law. Thank you.
So please share. And don't do a watch party, because if you do a watch party, we can't see the comments. And so please share so that anyone has any questions. Also, everyone who is watching, please give us some comments or questions and let us know if you have something that you need Rasheda to answer before she gets off. We will be going back on afterwards if people have questions, and we can just make sure you type, if you're watching now, at a later time, hashtag replay, so we'll know that you came in later on, and we will answer any questions or respond to your comments. Okay, so Dr. Rael says great information. We're getting some thumbs up going on. So we're doing well. Thank you, y'all. So, all right. So now that we've talked about the personal, we've talked about the professional, we've talked about what it looks like, what it can feel like for someone, and you've thrown a few tips in there. As we kind of come close to the end, what are some things that you haven't said that you feel like that are necessary, and that it doesn't come with me prompting with a question?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I really want to take away from is that I want individuals, whether in their personal life, whether if they have the, if they go through cancer treatment, or they know someone that's going through cancer treatment. Personally, I just want us to know that we all are evolving, right? And so friendships, and I think one of your guests said this as well, that we're evolving. And so friends that we may have had, that we grew up with, and we had this, you know, like, oh, I can't leave them. They know me from way back when, you know. Life evolves, and sometimes that in evolving, you know, they're not there for a lifetime. I'm grateful that my two best friends, I do believe, are there for a lifetime, and I just want people to know that you have to see, what is it benefiting your life? You know, how is it adding to your life? Okay, is it reciprocated? Is there reciprocation in terms of, you know, we give good constructive criticism, and, you know, we give good praise back to each other. And I would even say this, Sharon, because we always talk about, you know, oh yeah, they always hype me up, they give me so much kudos, but also, is your friend one of those that is able to accept constructive criticism? Because there has to be a a relationship or friendship, we can give and take. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right?
Say that again. You said it needs to be what type of relationship? It went in and out.
It should be a give and take relationship. Okay. Like, just as much as we're saying that, yes, the person shouldn't always have something bad to say about something I do. They should have some good, but you should maybe question when a friend they always have something good. Oh, girl, that's good. Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. Oh, yeah, you did that right. There's nothing that you can improve in that area as you grow, as you evolve, you know?
Right.
And you should see that, because we're all trying to improve in life, right? We're all trying to do better, want to do better. I remember, if I can, just for a moment, tell a story real quick. I recently was able to have a sister friend weekend in our home, and it was such an amazing time. And I remember, because I've been hearing something that, maybe there's some truth in this, right? And I posed it to my good sister friends, my line sisters. They were in town. And so, and they gave me constructive criticism. Did it burn some?
You said absolutely.
Right? To look at it and I said, yes, it burned some. Yes, it did. But it allowed me to kind of think about it, process it, and value the fact that I have sister friends that love me enough to check me when I needed to be checked. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just want people to know that as they go through life with friendships and so forth, you truly want friendships where you can be transparent, where no one has to say, oh goodness, can I tell Rasheda that? Are we going to still be friends after this? No. You want people that can tell you when you've done something that's out of character, and when you've done something great. You want that balance. And so I think that's very important. And you asked, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. And you asked me earlier, what tips would I leave people with, or like what I think that are important that I found in my experience in life that I value, is that I'll go back to it. Boundaries, right? Setting boundaries. There's nothing wrong with that. Completely okay. I have friends that have similar core values. And when I say similar core values, we don't all believe the same thing, but we all have similar core values of respect, honesty, and so forth. Being able to be transparent, being able to not have to look like I got it all together, not have to see every word is important.
This is good stuff. I hope y'all are getting this. Y'all too quiet for me. I see y'all sitting over there. We got quite a few people that done jumped on. They listening real intensely. Okay. And so as you talked about that, when you said, can you accept that constructive criticism, that stuck, because there are people who also will ask, they will say, tell me what you think. And then when the person or the group tells you what they think, they're like, no, I don't believe that. That ain't me. That's not me. And so you have to be ready that if you ask, be ready to receive it and take the time to process it. You don't have to respond immediately, but at least take the time to process it. Like you said, you should have friends there's that give and take. In addition to the core values and the boundaries, the non-judgmental, all of those things, I wanted to add, it's important that you feel safe in those friendships, that you can say things and you can also receive what's being said, knowing that it's not coming from a bad place. So this is good. This is good, Rasheda. Woo. Dr. Rael said yes.
I hope it was helpful in some aspect.
Absolutely. So this is good. So you guys got to hear, and I won't say you got to hear first, because I'm sure you heard it somewhere, but you've been reminded as we walk into 2020, some things that you need to keep in mind. And Rasheda basically let us know that we need to pay attention to those boundaries and reciprocity and having a non-judgmental attitude about things and having core values. And so, and that's the other thing. Do you even know what you believe in? Do you even know what is a foundation for you? So Start thinking about those things as you walk into 2020 with expectations. What is your foundation? What is underneath you? What is keeping you grounded before you even try to make changes in your friendships? What are you doing to make sure you make those corrections within yourself? I'm super excited, Rasheda, because next week we're going to be talking about self. So I know this is going to really tie right. The flow of this thing is amazing. It's amazing. So
well, thank you, Sharon. I think you're doing amazing work. You are just an amazing clinician. I'm pretty sure people have told you this. You should have gotten messages. If they haven't, let me just publicly say it. We thank you. You know, we appreciate this. You know, the fact that we can go back for, you know, for especially in the African American community to have this information readily available, free. Okay. We thank you just for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
$3.99. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Everyone knows that, you know, I turn it up about 1,000 for this 30-minute moment, but it definitely is a lot for me. But like I said, doing this is a part of obedience for me, but it's also a part of who I am. This is what Rasheda and I do on a regular basis. We're educating people. We're strengthening them to live a holistic life, making sure that they're covering all areas of their walk. So when they're coming to us saying, oh, I have this one problem, we don't look at just that one problem. We look at that problem and we look at everything around that person. You cannot ignore anything happening around an individual. There are so many influences, internal and external. You do not live in a bubble. So if you choose not to pay attention to these tips, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But if you choose to listen, I truly believe that you can make some changes. So take these things away and build upon them, or take what you need, you know, because maybe all of it doesn't apply. So again, Rasheda, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. Before we go though, I need you to tell the people how they can connect with you, what is coming up next, like, and then what's your social media handle?
So yes, please stay tuned for my launch for RPA LLC. You can find us on Instagram for right now. Please send me a message, do whatever. I'm telling you, my purpose, I believe that it's my God-given gift for me to impact patient care for patients who are going through oncology care. And so that is the premises of RPA LLC. So again, RPA LLC _ on Instagram. Thank you.
You guys have it. That is Rasheda Persinger-Adams. Help me say it right.
Medical oncology nurse practitioner.
She said it all simple. I wanted to say it the fancy way she said it one day. I was like, I'm going to say that real fast 3 times. But now she's going to break it down like for the slow person. The medical oncology nurse practitioner. Thank you. I was trying to be all smart. Thank you. She just messed up my moment. But I'm going to say it one day. But
it's okay. It's okay.
So make sure you guys share this with your other Facebook friends. But if you have family and friends who are not on social media and they have smart devices, please send them over to my YouTube channel, My Sailor Wellness, and they can catch all of these videos on the replay. I will start announcing that in every one of these videos because I realize I have not been saying that, but we know that there are a lot of people who are not on social media. We know the world wants to believe that everyone is on, but they're not. Right. So please share this with your loved ones. You can go on that YouTube channel, My Sailor Wellness, and what you can do is just right-click on those 3 dots and copy that link and send it to someone's phone. Help us get the word out with this information. And if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel so I can see who these 3,400 people are that have been watching these videos. So, you know, let's get those numbers up as well, and let's see if we can connect with as many people as possible and help them to become whole. So me and Rasheda are about to leave because we have things to do. So Rasheda, let's say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
And I'm going to go ahead and tune on out. And you guys will catch you on the next segment, which is tomorrow night. Bye-bye.